2, 1, going. Welcome back to
Nerds.
Oh, we messed that one up real bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you
I'm the one that's recording.
Go
Normally, whoever hits record goes. This is on roll. Everybody's watching this. Welcome back to Nerds in the Gym podcast. I'm Marco. You're
Marco.
We're both Marco today. We're creating a paradox.
Could be.
I'm
Marco. He made a few more bad decisions.
That's not hard. So how was your Thanksgiving weekend, whatever you want to call it?
Thanksgiving was good. Really low key. I had every day off but Black Friday.
That was your first mistake, not calling out.
So me showing up on Black Friday was just ridiculous. Because nothing going on, which made it even worse.
Because everybody is off on Black Friday.
Right. There was like 6 people working. It's just like you just kind of sat around staring at each other.
Yep. Did you keep up with all the news that's been going on because of, I guess it wasn't because of the holidays, but have you been keeping up with the news?
A little bit. It's been kind of like a weird assortment of things. Do you want me to bring up some of the trailers I saw that like threw me off?
Yes.
So there seems to be like a new strand of Christmas movie where they take an established IP and turn it into like a Christmas special, which used to be like the norm back in the 80s, but now it's coming back. So did you see the trailer for Batman, the Christmas Batman?
Well, we talked about it on the last podcast we did, actually, with he's got like the really big chin.
Yeah, did we talk about it?
Yes, we did talk about it. We did. We touched on it. But I had brought it up to you first on the last podcast, and you, that was the first time you had seen it, so you must have went even further into it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, it looks awesome. I don't know when that drops.
Yeah,
or if it's already out.
It was a very... Like, the first time I saw the trailer, at first I was like, I don't like how his chin looks. But then I watched the trailer and I was like, this actually does not seem that bad.
It's a pretty, it's a big swing.
It is. Agreed.
Because I think it ended up going to Amazon, right?
I think so.
Which I have to find. I'm looking right now to see if it's out. It should be any day now. Yeah. So they had that one, but they also had a cartoon, Steve Urkel Saves Christmas.
Oh, are you talking about?
I don't know if you're familiar with Family Matters.
I am.
No, this is new.
Oh, so they're still doing Steve Urkel and Family Matters stuff?
This is the first time, I think.
Oh,
all right, so Merry Little Batman comes out on the 8th, which is next Wednesday.
Okay.
I lied. That's next Friday. Okay. So set an alert for that on your phone.
I will.
And then the Steve Urkel one, oddly enough, didn't get picked up by a streaming service, so you have to buy it.
Really?
So I don't know if it didn't get picked up or if they just chose to do it on their own. So
I'm surprised Peacock didn't go for that one.
Yeah, they got all the NBC old stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's a shocker. And then another Christmas one is The Santa Clauses is out.
All right. I haven't checked it out yet. Have you?
I'm on episode 3 now. The first 2 episodes good. I enjoy it. I think it's funny. I think it's a good show that people will enjoy. It's just, I know nostalgia's playing a factor too. Because I grew up with the Tim Allen Santa Claus movies.
Yeah, you probably were old enough for the second one, but not the first.
That is true, actually, yeah. But I started with the first.
I know we talk about it every year, but that first one is so much more darker.
Oh, it is. But the second...
than what the franchise ended up being.
The second one freaked me out as a kid because of the clone Santa. That was freaky.
Well, have you ever seen the interviews where Tim Allen talks about the... bodysuit he had to wear and the plastic molding they had to put over his face to play the clone?
No.
It was like super claustrophobic because he's already in the fat suit for Santa. And then there's like another layer on top of it.
Oh my God, that sounds so uncomfortable. It must have been like 500 degrees in that thing.
Oh, just crazy. And also it's super weird because in order to get it to release by December, they have to like film it in the summer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we know. Disney can afford air conditioning, trust me.
Oh, no, this one, yeah. But, like, before when you used to have to make movies 2 years ahead of time.
Yeah, that's true.
How many episodes is this Santa Claus Season 3? 2?
Season 2, there's 7 episodes out right now, or 6 episodes. It's either 5 or 7 episodes, and I think that the last episode is next week.
Okay. So, they really screwed that up, huh? They really are just like, let's release it all before December.
I don't really know, though, because I haven't been, I haven't watched all the way up to where there is. I'm just going based off of what I think I saw on the internet on Wikipedia.
Okay, so episode 6 drops December 6th.
Yep, but I don't know if that's also like the last episode or not. Maybe they're doing an 8-episode season.
Okay, maybe.
I suspect 6 because there were 6 last season.
Yeah, I think 6 is safe.
Yeah,
for the time frame they make this stuff in. I laugh because like if you're listening to interviews and things, people think it's coming out in December, just like we did.
Yeah.
No one knows it's out, so I think they really did a poor job.
If there were 2 more episodes of the show though after the 6th one, that would make sense because then let's see, the 6th
goes right up to Christmas.
Yeah, the 13th, and then you would have the wait, I am doing math super wrong right now, I think. But it would make more sense. Yeah, because if you had one next week, then you had the 7th episode on the 13th, and then the last one on the 20th. That would make sense, but who knows?
There's been a lot of random ones coming out, and I can't keep up on them. Like Eddie Murphy, who's famously retired, he rarely does movies, is doing an Amazon Prime one.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know you talked about that one a little bit last time. But I just realized the people can't see that because I just put a reaction on.
You just did the clapping, yeah.
Yeah. So he's got one, and is there any other Christmas things that are coming out?
It's Disney Plus has got one, Dashing Through the Snow with Ludacris, and I don't know if you're familiar with Ludacris.
I'm not familiar with Ludacris. Is he a rapper?
Ludacris so Ludacris.
That
was like
I realized that was a risky move after doing diversity training, just assuming something based off of somebody's name.
Mm-hmm.
That would not go well in the workplace, but I'm fine because I was right.
But yeah, so Ludacris was like one of the premier rappers in the early 2000s.
Okay.
So that's the style, and then he transitioned to acting, so he did like the Fast and Furious movies.
Okay. I know him now. Has he been in all? Has he been in all the Fast and Furious movies?
I don't remember when he showed up, to be honest.
Because I saw the one that was Paul Walker's last one, and I think I saw him in that.
He was in that.
Okay. Yep. I know who he is now. Speaking of early 2000s rappers, did you hear about what Fortnite did?
No.
So
what do they do?
In the game, you get different skins and stuff for your character. In this one, they just added Eminem as a skin. And it's so funny because now, like, it's a kid's game, and the Real Slim Shady song jumped up in the charts this past week because of it. So now you have a bunch of 10-year-olds listening to the Real Slim Shady.
Which is who was listening at the first time it came out. So.
Yeah, that's true.
To answer your question, Ludacris has been in all the Fast and Furious movies.
Okay.
According to Google.
And actually, staying on the Fortnite topic too, quickly, they're adding Peter Griffin as a playable character in the game this coming week.
Makes sense. I like it.
It's just funny because the game was so, like, kid-oriented, and now they're adding these, like, mature figures to the game. It's almost like the game is growing up with its fans.
It's true. What's also crazy that show's still on. I haven't watched it in, like, over a decade. Well,
did you see that it got moved from, like, Monday nights to Wednesday nights or something, or Sunday to Wednesday nights now? For the new episode airings, yeah, they switched it from like the prime time to Wednesdays, which at some point that has to happen. And Seth MacFarlane's coming out with another show.
He is doing a prequel to the Ted movies.
Yes, did you see the trailer for that?
Hilarious.
It looked. I was actually shocked. I was like, I wonder how this prequel series is going to go. And I was iffy on I was iffy on how they would do Mark Wahlberg's character at a young age. Like
they did. You know what they did, Marco? They just went full Boston.
Yes.
They just triple X down on him being from Boston.
Yeah, that's exactly
the thickest Boston accent I've ever heard.
I know. It looks great. I was worried about them getting an actor who could pull off like being like Mark Wahlberg at a young age in terms of Mark Wahlberg's character in the movies. But I think they did a pretty good casting job with that based off of it. The father looks hilarious. And obviously you have Ted being Ted and John being John as kids. It looks great.
Especially it's going to be on Peacock. So
is it
provide?
It is Peacock. Yeah. Okay.
Which I thought was weird, but
it is weird. I guess I don't know who the movie got published by. I think Sony, but I could be wrong.
It's at this point it doesn't even matter who owns the IP. It's just who the highest bidder is.
Yeah. Depending on how that show does, you think they do a third movie potentially?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If it does well.
Yeah.
But honestly, now do you do another movie or do you just keep doing the TV show?
Well, I think the TV show's at least 3 seasons. They're going to try to get it as long as it performs well.
Right.
I think that's the bare minimum a lot of series try to do now.
I think the problem is it's on Peacock. Like, I'm a big Peacock supporter. I like Peacock a lot. I use it all the time. And then it's just like no one knows about it.
Yeah.
And it's the cheapest, and no one wants to pay $5 for it.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
I think it just goes back to maybe they do 3 seasons of the TV show and another movie. They could have done another movie any time after the second one.
Yeah, they could have.
People love that premise. People love that movie.
Yep.
But I think, honestly, once you got Seth MacFarlane, you don't have to pay anyone for the rights except Seth. So now you're not paying Mark Wahlberg's contract. Mm-hmm. It's a high school show. They're going to be able to make it cheap.
Yep. And I think there's something about the way that you can create the story around the high school years is very good, and the humor.
Right, because if they start them out as freshmen, that guarantees you 4 years. And
maybe this is what they'll do. They'll do a couple years in high school. They're like, oh my God, the show's doing great. Let's do them in college now.
Ted in college? Well, I'm wondering, did he go to college? I can't remember. It's been a while since I saw the movie.
It's been too long for me to know, too. I forget.
Did you have something up next, or you want me to hop in?
You can pop up next.
Have you heard all the rumors about who's going to be in Deadpool 3 that came out last 2 days?
I probably have. I don't have them up right now, so I can't remember.
Sure. Rumor 1, Jennifer Gardner returning as Elektra.
Okay, yep, I saw that one.
There is a rumor that the young girl from The Last Wolverine, X-23.
Saw that one too, yep.
There's a rumor on that one. The new one I wasn't expecting, there is a rumor that Daniel Radcliffe makes an appearance.
As like an alternate universe Wolverine?
Is what they're saying.
He is my top casting choice for my own personal opinion for the next Wolverine.
For your backyard Wolverine you're making?
Yeah. And he's gotten absolutely jacked. Have you seen him recently?
Yeah, no, he's in good shape.
So I think it's a large possibility that they get him. But there was one more that I actually heard. I'm not sure if it's specifically for Deadpool, but Patrick Stewart did say that return to the MCU is a possibility. So
you write that check.
You write that check, you're going to get him. But on top of that, it's I think they're going to try to pull in all these Fox characters in some way at some point. They're just not going to stick around because they do have to also let the new generation of them come in.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy.
It is.
But how many cameos is too many cameos?
That is true. I think Deadpool works differently, though, because with him being able to break the fourth wall and be almost aware like the audience is, he's going to make jokes about it.
Right. So, I don't know. It just depends how long you want to make the movie and how many cameos is too many. And that's coming out this summer, though. So
it is. I'm super excited for it. Did you see the Marvels yet?
No. Did you?
Shockingly, yes.
Really?
Yes. Now, did I see the original Captain Marvel? Is another question. I watched it. It was, in my opinion, not great. I give it like a 5 out of 10.
Okay. Samuel L. Jackson.
He's Samuel L. Jackson. Why, like?
Well, I assume he carried the movie. Is he in it a lot?
He's not in it too much, but obviously the scenes he's in, he carries.
Okay. I was just curious because, honestly, you're probably really confused because you didn't watch the other 2 Disney Plus shows where those characters came from.
Well, I did watch... I have seen Captain Marvel, actually. I did see that before seeing this one.
Okay.
But, the Disney Plus shows I didn't see, but I did know about, like, what happened in those.
Mm-hmm.
The movie was not great. The things that brought it... It was like a 4 out of 10 for me. The things that brought it up to a 5 out of 10 are how it connects to the rest of the universe.
Okay. I'm kind of shocked it's still in theaters, to be honest.
I think they're trying to make as much money as they possibly can. And there's nothing really out right now for movies.
Well, Disney's Wish is a kid's movie.
I think that actually outperformed the Marvels.
Yeah, but in Marvel's defense, that was week 3 of Marvel's.
Mm.
And then Napoleon, Zack Snyder's Napoleon, I think, with Phoenix.
No, Denis Villeneuve or whatever. That I don't know how to pronounce the name. With what's his name? The guy that plays Joker. Phoenix. There. Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. Have you heard the uproar about that movie that's happening?
Yeah, so we're both wrong. It was Ridley Scott directed Napoleon.
Oh, okay. Okay, it was Ridley Scott. But have you heard the controversy about the movie?
It's not historically accurate.
Yeah, and have you heard what Ridley Scott's been just saying?
You can go ahead and tell him.
He's basically just telling people F off. He's like, if you've ever seen the history books, they're all different. He's like, none of us were there to know, so deal with it. It's a movie.
Ridley Scott's one of my favorite interviews to watch because he's an older gentleman. He's been around forever. So he's 86 years old. He makes the movies he wants. Yep. He works when he wants, and he just tells people off.
Yeah.
left and right. It's so funny.
Yeah, the things he's been saying have been giving me a chuckle, but yeah.
Next Wednesday, I get to go see The Boy and the Heron. Yeah, a Studio Ghibli picture.
Okay.
Not really my or yours cup of tea, but it's got a pretty big fan base. It's anime out of Japan.
Oh, I think we talked about this a few weeks ago. It's got big name actors in it.
Yes.
Yes, we did talk about this actually, and you are going to see it. Okay. You'll have to come back with a report on what how it is.
I'm kicking myself because I bought tickets for Wednesday because they originally only released 2 nights.
Yeah.
And now it's playing the weekend, so.
Now you know what may be your cup of tea?
Please.
So Hayden Christensen signs with it.
You know what's your cup of tea? Tazo Tea, proud sponsor of the podcast. You like all natural flavors without that pesky sugar? Tazo Tea. Go to TazoTea.com and type in the word Marco. Nothing will happen, but we appreciate you trying. Now back to the podcast. All right, Marco. In Hayden Christensen news,
he signed with an agency and independent artist group, which potentially signals a resurgence in his acting career aside from what he's been doing in Star Wars.
Bring it on.
It's happening.
Put him in everything.
Jingle All the Way 2's happening. He's going to be in it somehow. We're getting it.
Poor guy.
But he's making a comeback. Did we podcast since Dave Filoni has become the creative officer of Lucasfilm?
No, I think it happened the day after our last one.
So he is now the chief creative officer, so CCO of Lucasfilm, which means that he is pretty much he's the lead guy now for Star Wars. I think he's co-head of it with Kathleen Kennedy, but now his say is just as important as hers. So we've seen what Dave Filoni's been able to do in terms of carrying this story. We know he's got the heart and spirit of George Lucas, and he knows George Lucas very well. I think this is a great move by Lucasfilm and could be a huge turning point for Star Wars as a whole.
I like it. I mean, he hasn't missed yet, so...
He has not missed yet.
He loves the product.
And I think this is all great, and I think this is only better for him going into the fact that he is making a movie, too.
To step right into the next one, I guess Taika Waititi? Am I saying that right?
Taika Waititi.
I guess he is making a Star Wars movie now.
Yep, he's still making it. There's been a lot of news about him. One, he is super excited about making this movie, and he wants to make it feel like the original trilogy, the original 3 movies.
Perfect.
Which is great. That's what every Star Wars fan wants. And I think that's what Star Wars needs right now. So if he can land that tone, it is great. And it's nice that he's actually passionate about this project, unlike he is about the Marvel movies that he's done. Because he came out and was just like, I did those just for the money.
Well, he said Thor 3 he did because he was a starving artist and he was sick of it and wanted to eat.
Yeah,
so,
he said that he was poor.
Right, because he did indie movies and things. So good on him for just falling into a Marvel movie, and now he's rich for life.
But it is also insane to hear that stuff come out. Like, Marvel's a pretty tight-lipped place.
So Marvel's down, but people are taking their shots.
Oh, they are. They are. It's gotten so bad to the point that Bob Iger is stepping in, and him and other Disney executives has said their main goal now is quality over quantity. And we've seen what happened with Marvel specifically. They were just trying to put out so many products at once that A, oversaturated the market, B, they were not paying attention at all to the products they were putting out.
They did the same thing Star Wars did.
Yeah.
With the oversaturation, and that's why the Harrison Ford's character in Star Wars.
Han Solo?
That's why the Han Solo movie tanked, even though it was decent.
Yeah.
They just oversaturated their own market.
Yeah, they did. And obviously we're going to probably keep seeing things like stories like this that Taika Waititi has about him taking it for money. It is shocking that it's coming out because I almost wonder, like, does he break NDAs or anything doing this? Probably not, because that's his own personal
opinion.
Yeah, and he's probably
NDAs really don't cover personal opinion.
Yeah, but there may be something in his contract that he can't speak negatively about Disney at all.
Oh, maybe.
Or about his products. So I'm not sure.
But that Thor 3 movie came before they were the real juggernaut. Like, it was going really well.
Yeah. It
just didn't launch into the stratosphere it is now. But it's one of those things, man. Once you get so popular, like, you misstep a little bit and people just gang up on you.
Yeah, and Disney has also come out with more information. I need to find it again. But, okay, Bob Iger said creators at Disney have lost sight of what their job should be. Entertain first, not messages. He adds that stories infused with positive messages for the world can be great, but it shouldn't be the primary job.
Yeah. Should be entertaining first.
It should be. So I think we're going to see a big tonal shift coming with all these Disney products and movies coming out. And I think it could be a good thing. And it seems like they really just want to put out a good product. And I'm hoping we just eventually do get these good products that we've been waiting for.
I mean, that's all we can hope for. But you know what's funny is MCU. This is probably the slowest year for MCU yet, right?
Yeah, and it's only slower next year.
So they've backed way off.
Like, next year we literally have just one Marvel product. Just one Marvel movie. I'm not sure if there's TV shows coming out next year, but just one Marvel movie, and the rest is 3 Sony movies, which we had talked about.
Which is just going to poison the well.
Which we talked about last time. And you want to get even, the movie that you are not excited about, Madam Web?
Yeah.
You want me to make you even less excited about it? It has the same writing team as Morbius.
They're like, you know what? I like these guys. They cut out their jib. They make movies they don't make bad movies. They just make movies no one wants to see. You know what's so funny is that trailer dropped. You and me ridiculed it. No one saw it.
Oh, I know.
No one saw it till like 4 or 5 days later, and then the internet responded.
Yep. It's,
like the way she reads dialogue, just very monotone.
Oh my god, it's going to be... This may be one of those movies I have to watch because of how bad it's going to be.
Marco, we might have to rebrand this podcast because The Marvels was the first MCU movie I had no interest in seeing. I had many opportunities to go. I just had no interest.
I think a lot of people would like us to rebrand the name of this podcast, but...
We might have to, Marco, because honestly, I don't want to see any of these Sony movies either. When you and me are both behind on the streaming TV shows.
What about Venom 3?
Venom 3, it will probably be 90 minutes like the last one.
Mm-hmm.
It will be just good enough with just a few enough laughs.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to tell from the first scene where it's going.
You want to know the worst part, though, is it seems like Tom Holland is trying to avoid this whole Sony thing.
Absolutely.
Because he came out about Spider-Man 4, and he says, we've been engaging in conversations about it, but he feels very protective over Spider-Man. He won't make another one for the sake of making another one. It will have to be worth the while of the character. And
a really good script. Yeah.
And, like, honestly, yes, it needs to be a really good script, needs to add something to the character. But I think he's kind of throwing a thorn in the bush on Sony because I feel like Sony's trying to get him to do stuff, and he's just like, I don't want to do anything. Like, I don't want to get too involved with the Sony universe because of whatever they're trying to write for his character.
Yeah, I don't know what thorn in a bush means, but...
Well, if you stick your hand in a bush and you hit it on a thorn, right? It's going to hurt. Is that not the same? I don't know. I thought that was the same.
Thorn in the bush? I don't think so.
I'm not good with metaphors.
Oh, no, I mean, luckily we have him not putting out garbage movies, but...
But I think...
Like I said, I might have to get back in the gym and we just record ourselves working out, because honestly, at this point, like, I'm running out of things to look forward to with these movies. And I was the guy that's just like, you know what, I'm just happy they're getting made.
Hey.
If they're okay, if they're bad...
We have Star Wars to fall back on because next year's a big year for Star Wars.
Okay.
We have 5 products coming out. We have Skeleton Crew. We have The Acolyte, which is the one I'm super excited about. The Bad Batch Season 3. Tales of the Jedi Season 2. And then the one I'm not excited about, Andor.
Ugh. Tales of the Jedi, is that the kids one?
No, Tales of the Jedi is that, like, Clone Wars animated one that they did. They had a couple episodes about Count Dooku and then a couple about Ahsoka.
Is this new?
They had a Season 1 last year that was apparently really, really good. That I need to watch. I watched the Count Dooku one, which was really good.
So 6 episodes, 15 episodes each. Okay. So that's an hour and a half. All right. Yeah. Check it out.
It's really good.
Disney Plus?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
Okay.
You watch Bad Batch, right?
No, I could never get into it. I've tried a few times.
It is actually it is really good. I do have to give them credit for it.
Maybe I'll try it a third time. It's just tough.
It's hard to get into, but I feel like it was hard to get into. But once I got into it, you start getting more invested in the characters and stuff. I still don't really care about the time period, but it's a good show. Well done. I will watch the last season of it. Acolyte is the one that's more about the dark side than it is the light side. That one I'm super excited about, and that's a live action TV show, I believe. And
I'll give them all a shot.
Skeleton Crew, I believe, is the one where it's kind of about like these Jedi light side force users. This small group of them that are like out in the galaxy, kind of hiding and training in the dark, I guess.
Okay, I like that.
I really don't know.
Do we know the time period that takes place?
I think it's around the time of The Mandalorian. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Because I think it's supposed to fall in line with, like, the rest of this, like, universe that, whatever Dave Filoni's doing, but I could be wrong. Yep, it's the same time as The Mandalorian, and it's a coming-of-age story. The series follows 4 kids who end up on an adventure to make their way home after being lost in the galaxy following a discovery they make on their home planet.
I just wish they would do something with the Mace Windu character.
Hey, we may actually get him in Tales of the Jedi Season 2.
Okay, that's something.
That is something. He's it won't be the same as Sam L. Jackson, obviously. If they got Sam L. Jackson to come back and voice him, actually.
Oh, that's what I thought you were saying.
I need some Sam L. Jackson sass in that voice.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a way of delivering lines unlike anybody else. Did you hear about the Godzilla movie? Have you seen it or going to see it?
So I thought it was a TV show on Apple TV.
Oh, maybe it's the Godzilla -1?
I don't think that's the name of the one I'm thinking. Maybe they got 2 different ones.
No, there's a movie. It's not... Apparently, it's just not an amazing Godzilla film, but it's one of the best films of the year, apparently.
So we're talking about 2 different things. So haven't heard about that one. Okay. Monarch: Legacy of Monsters is a TV show on Apple TV.
Okay.
That takes place in the Godzilla universe.
Okay.
That's supposed to be really good. What was it called? Godzilla
this is the first time.
-1?
Yeah, Godzilla -1. Apparently it's super good, but the director of that also wants to make a Star Wars film. And he specifically said he wants he watched Star Wars, that's how he ended up being a filmmaker, and he's really hoping he will get a call. I'm thinking if he makes a Star Wars movie, let's have him make a Rancor movie.
Yeah, why not? All right, so oddly enough, Godzilla -1 is playing now in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese film. So Trent told me about this a little while ago. I didn't know it was going U.S. side.
Yeah, no, it's it looks like it's performing well and people really like it. Because you usually watch like the Kong and Godzilla movies, right?
I try to. I'm short on a couple of them because they're just haven't been good, the U.S. ones.
Okay.
They keep doing this thing where Godzilla doesn't show up till 90 minutes in, and it just makes for a rough watch.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that.
But no, Phoenix Theaters got it. Maybe I'll try and check that out one night this week.
Yeah.
I wonder, subtitles probably?
Yeah. Have you heard about what Adam Driver said about Kylo Ren in Star Wars?
No, I know he said something. I didn't click on it.
So he's actually been in the news a lot, has been doing a lot of interviews recently. Is he in a new movie or something?
I don't know. He did that dinosaur movie last year.
Yeah, well, that was last year. This is this year at this point. But he was saying how he took it really seriously and thought about it a lot. He didn't want to be in it and be bad because I knew a lot of people were going to watch it and I was a fan of those movies. And now I feel super bad for him because the sequel trilogy did not go the way that I think anybody had planned.
Mm-hmm.
And he really was like a bright spot in that trilogy, I'd say.
He had some interesting choices.
Yeah.
That weren't necessarily his fault.
Yep.
The shirtless conversation through the Force.
That was so weird.
Just weird things like that, or he's just an angsty teenage man.
Yeah, but you could tell that he put a lot of effort and heart into the role. But I do feel bad, like, from this quote there, how serious he took it and how he didn't want to be bad, but then they still didn't. The films themselves, if you're looking at the 3 as a whole, did not perform like the way that anybody would have wanted.
Right.
It's just one of those things. It's like you lose out on a really good actor, and then yep.
I mean, it might not be over for him. Did he die at the end? I can't remember.
He did. Remember,
Force Ghost?
Ray dies, and then he heals Ray, but gives all of his power to Ray essentially, and then he dies after they had that really weird kiss.
Maybe just maybe, we get him in the Rey movie as a Force ghost, or maybe he lives rent free in her head.
Swear to God,
and just a bunch of weird scenes of him running shirtless through a rose-petaled forest.
Oh my God.
Just get weird with it. At this point, they've already done so much weird stuff.
Yeah.
Let's get weird.
They honestly, they may as well. We should just have, let's just get they should make one Star Wars movie that's just super bizarre. That doesn't make any sense. It just has the most awkward interactions. I'll write it because I'm pretty good at awkward interactions.
And your Star Wars fan fiction's come a long way.
Yeah, really.
Honestly, I can't get over this Godzilla movie. Honestly, I didn't even know it was happening. Now I'm a little excited for it.
Is that why you've been so quiet?
Not even. I've been thinking about it. I was like, we have a movie that's supposedly one of the best movies of the year in theaters right now that I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot about this quote, going back to the Marvels. So Bob Iger blames the underperformance of the Marvels because it was shot during
lack
COVID.
Of supervision.
Well, yeah. Because it was shot during COVID and there wasn't enough supervision on set from the executives.
What a weird thing to say. Is like, we screwed up, but we needed supervision.
Because those adults are actually children.
You guys left the kids alone, and this is what happened. We're all adults. No, you're not.
Oh, man. But, that was the most absurd statement I've ever seen. And we actually do have news on the Thunderbolts.
Okay.
Wyatt Russell, I'm not sure if he plays a character or if he's a director in it. Do you know who he is?
Russell?
Wyatt Russell?
So Wyatt Russell plays the evil Captain America.
Okay. So he said, quote unquote, it's time to make a good Marvel movie. He's in this movie.
Right. He was also in the TV show Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
What a bad thing to say, in quotes.
He says, I know everybody's sore on this Marvel train right now of things not going so well. And the story that I think they've come up with is really interesting. It's not a straightforward Marvel movie as you've seen in the past. Time to go to work.
But also, you got Harrison Ford, so he can talk as much smack as he wants because he knows Harrison Ford can back him up.
That's true. So I'm not sure if that statement should make us really excited for the movie or be really iffy about the movie.
I'm just confused. Time to make a good one of these garbage movies. What? And again, what has he been in to back that up?
Nothing. The
you
best.
Thought you didn't know who he was, so now he's just talking smack for the sake of talking smack.
The best movie is when he was in the elevator with Captain America, whichever one that was, or the one where he
Oh no! So this is the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show.
Oh, this is a completely different one.
Yeah, he was never in a movie.
Oh, yeah, no. So he's been in absolutely nothing. He's got no credibility in my eyes, and but Thunderbolts does have Sebastian Stan in it, and he has been casted in another project. Did you see that news?
No.
He has been cast in a movie called The Apprentice, and he is playing a young Donald Trump.
Hilarious. Let's just start with that. But also, he is a very underrated actor.
He is.
If you watch that Pam and Tommy TV show on Hulu, he was amazing.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell the difference between him and Tommy Lee. So
I'm hoping that he just mocks Donald Trump to the maximum. Because, let me tell you, Donald Trump's voice is one of my favorite voices. But on top of that, listening to people mock his voice is even better.
Just the idea, what if he goes like Austin Butler did for Elvis and he loses his voice and he has to talk like Trump after?
Imagine him on his next Marvel film.
Yeah.
He's sitting there
Steve, it's huge. The aliens, they're coming. We need help. We need to stop them. Not because I need help, because aliens love me. Hey, Seabass, you want to take it again? No, that was perfect. I nailed it like I always do. I got a middle arm. The best part about middle arm is punching people, punching things.
He's just gonna become Donald Trump. Next year he's actually running for president.
And again, Trump was just like a rich kid, right? Just his dad was a millionaire, so like how exciting can this TV show be? Or this movie?
I hope he's just a huge critic on set of everybody's acting performances, just like in The Apprentice show. Trump critiqued everybody.
You're fired. Get out of here.
Oh my god. But now there's actually been some DC news that's been coming out.
Okay.
And it's all it's all related to Zack Snyder. So Zack Snyder called James Gunn to wish him all the best and told him he wanted it to work. And he said that if Gunn invited him back to DC, he would only be interested in doing a true adaptation of Dark Knight Return.
Who is this?
Zack Snyder.
Oh, so they're talking about the comic book. They want
Yes.
to do a true adaptation. It's a great comic book, bro.
And do I trust him doing a true adaptation of it though?
Who was the other person involved?
Well, he was talking about how he messaged James Gunn wishing him the best and stuff, and that he wanted this entire universe to work out for him. But he was saying if James Gunn gave him to call to go back to DC, that's what he would want to do.
He's like, look, I'm happy. Everything's working out for you. Things are great. It's huge. I don't want to come back, but if I did come back...
It has to be for
Dark
this
Knight
very
Return.
specific project that has to be a true adaptation.
He sends him a contract. He's like, this is the money I would need and the months, and these are the actors involved, but I don't want to come back.
But how confusing is it going to be when they have this separate Batman universe going on with the DC universe, and then they're going to put a Batman in that?
Do you think the Dark Knight Returns would be in the Batman universe?
That's actually true. That could
That
be
he
possible.
already did?
That's
So that means we get Christian Bale back?
could happen. Well, no, Zack Snyder didn't already do. Zack Snyder did the Ben Affleck one.
Oh, well, fuck that. Never mind. We're done. Sorry, I'm not on my A game. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
Oh, okay.
Nolan, that's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, yeah, you're thinking of Nolan.
So he already had his shot at doing Dark Knight Returns. So he's saying, look, I know I screwed this up. This is mostly my fault. But if you bring me back, I will do what I was supposed to do 15 years ago right the first time. That's even more ludicrous. Not the rapper.
Yeah, so
Honestly, what
now
world is he living in?
he's basically like, I messed up so badly. He's like, trust me, I'll do a true adaptation. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be great.
He's burned down, made one of the worst movies of all time, an almost unwatchable superhero movie in a time when they were just printing money.
Yep.
And he goes, look, I don't want to come back, but if you want me, I'm going to redo the movie I screwed up 15 years ago.
It's like, I'm a big deal in this industry. You should want me. It's going to be hard to get me, though.
Like,
And not only that, he made an even more crazy statement. He said he would work with Amber Heard again in a second. He said, I just don't get it. If other people don't like her, I don't know what to say.
I'm going to come back. If you want me and need me, I'm going to redo the movie I made before. And guess who Batman's going to be? Amber Heard. Can you get out of my office? What? I am offering a great deal here. Imagine being that egotistical.
He made some bold statements. And that's it about Zack Snyder. I don't even know what to say about his statements. They're just absurd.
I just don't even know.
I thought I used to understand this world, but I really just don't understand it anymore. And Dave Bautista did post a picture of him at DC Studios, so he's in it, which I think everybody saw happening.
Dave Bautista is doing DC now?
Yep.
After he left MCU to do other things.
I think it's just he wants to work with James Gunn. I think James Gunn understands where he's at in his career, is going to offer him roles that he would rather take on compared to being the big shirtless beat.
Look, Dave Bautista's going to be in it with 2 shirts on and a sweatshirt, and he's going to play the Riddler. Boom.
We got it.
Ugh.
But,
Like, killing me, Smalls. Did you have anything else? I don't mean to rush you. I appreciate you squeezing me in this morning.
There is so much stuff, but we are up around the 48-minute mark, so, and I know you have to leave at 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good stopping point.
All right, bud. I appreciate it. If you want to try and squeeze Thursday, you thinking?
Yeah, we can do Thursday.
Yeah, so save that stuff. We'll hit Thursday, and we'll keep this train rolling.
Yeah, well,
All right,
it's hard to save that stuff for Thursday with how much stuff is coming in at this point.
Hey, we have to do 2 in a week. We can.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We've been Nerds in the Gym podcast. I'm Marco, and he's Marco. We're the Marcos.
M&M's. Goodbye.